Hello, my name is Alien Saints. Welcome to my workspace, and ignore the mess. I want to talk about scanner camera. A scanner camera is something where you use a scanner, for instance this one that is already slightly taken apart and has a lot of loose wires, ignore that. And you connect it to a camera with a lens and you make pictures with that. The thing is that I got slightly frustrated with information on the internet. It's either completely over the top technically and only to be used by engineers, and I always have the feeling that there's only part of the information there, or it is very short. Yeah, you do this and this and then it works, and it kinda doesn't. First of all, how does a scanner work? Well, a scanner usually has a glass plate here. And for instance, you take a picture, you put it on there and you say scan, you turn it on, connect it to a computer. Then there is a light shines up towards the image, reflects, goes through a couple of mirrors there, and then there is a lens there, and it goes to this sensor and is then automatically moved towards your computer and turned into an image, line by line by line by line by line. Same thing goes for if you have a negative. Let's say you have a negative, then there has to be a light that shines through it. There is a lamp on top, usually there's a lid there, and then a light shines through. Line by line by line. The light there goes off. The light comes from outside, and then it scans the image and goes the same way into your computer. With a scanner camera, you basically, the idea is to take out the middleman in the form of a negative and directly use the thing that comes out here. Maybe you can see the thing that comes out here and capture that with the scanner there. This, well, how should I continue? First of all, I would like to say that this might work for a small format, so 24 by 36 millimeter, or by a so-called medium format, 6 by 6 centimeters. But it won't work, this method, for using on the larger cameras, and I can explain you why in a short moment. The things you have to have, you cannot simply put this on here, take the camera, put it on there and just scan away. That won't work. Two reasons. One is that with this scanner there is a light shining from below, and you have to turn that off. As soon as you turn that off, the scanner thinks it is broken and won't do anything anymore. You have to reboot it, reboot your program, etc. That's one thing. And the other thing is that the way the light goes towards this sensor is way too long. It won't do it. Another small detail is you can use this scanner while laying down, but this will move, so you have to build something in to prevent it from moving, but at the same time it still slides. I put a metal rod here to prevent it from moving, but that's just a minor detail actually in the grand scheme of things. As for the light, I solved that in a small way with making a knob here. You can see it, I can turn it on and off. I moved it to the outside. I accidentally fried the scanner with it because the wires touched each other by accident, and I'm waiting for a replacement scanner. You can buy them for not that much money on eBay or whatever, wherever you shop. It's 30 euros, 20 euros, something like that. This is an Epson V30. I like that because it's a rather high resolution, not that expensive, etc. The other thing is, that's very important, is what's called the flange focal distance. The flange focal distance is basically the distance between here, where the lens goes in, and where the film is on the, where the film is, so to speak. So for that reason, I took apart this machine. I already attached the lens to it, of course, and then you can see here that that I made sure that I could attach it. At the moment I'm taking this one out because it's easier to attach it to this. So what you basically have to do, this sensor, you have to take it out and move it here. And then do your magic that you make a construction that this one is attached here, or I prefer it like this, and that this distance is just right, and then you can do your work. And a couple of notes, not sure if you can see it. I made sure this is a mirror. I'm not sure what the acronyms are for it. There's a mirror in here, so you can see on the top what's in there, so I can use it to focus. Because focusing with these cameras is kind of problematic. You have to do it by trial and error. The people who make really fancy cameras built in, one of them, the Project ESE on Flickr, built in a webcam for that purpose, but I'm not that fancy. I just use this, and that's why I want to go to a medium format camera that also has the viewfinder on top. Another thing is with these scanners, there is a tiny white strip that goes there, usually inside this frame. I took it out, and during boot up times this lamp shines and it calibrates itself. It needs to do that. That's not the only moment that it does something with the lamp. Every time it scans, it does not recalibrate itself, but every time it scans, at the beginning and at the end, it shines a light for a short moment. It can be different with other types of scanners, but the scanner has to be, the light has to be on, otherwise it will throw a fit and say, I'm broken, I need to be repaired, please turn me off. So yeah, that's about it, I would say. I will post more as soon as my new scanner arrives, and I'll make a new setup, because first I thought it was a good idea to do it just like that, but I kind of run out of place because this part here is too high. It touches the metal plate here, and then it's kind of hard to move, so I'm making a smaller frame on top and try if that makes it work any better. The quest. Hello, it's me again. I forgot two things that are kind of important. One thing was, why is it not usable for large format cameras? Well, you see this sensor. This is the sensor. I can't take it out at the moment, but it's about 5 or 6 centimeters long. Well, a large format camera is 8 by 10 inches. That would be 4 centimeters, 20 centimeters. It won't cover that. Another thing is that if you get a file out of this using this method, it's not really one of the things is the RGB channels are not aligned. You have to align them. Can do that visually, it works. The colors are kind of weird. You can change that the way you want it. There is not a real, it probably is, it's calibrated for this lamp. You could maybe try changing the lamp, or maybe even dim the light to make it up its sensitivity. People working with that. The other thing is that this sensor used to scan this width, but now it only scans this width. So you have a very broad image that has to be made smaller or longer, depending on what you do, because you have to bring it back to these proportions. From something that is like so small, this by this, you have to compress it to give it the right proportions. That is so that you're not too devastated by the results that come out of it. Yeah, that's about it. You'll hear more from me